If you love chocolate cake and Oreos, this cake is for you. What's up guys, and welcome to today's video. This Oreo chocolate cake is so quick and easy to make, and you don't need any fancy ingredients. The chocolate cake is rich and super moist. It's topped with the most amazing Oreo buttercream frosting. It's one of my favorite chocolate cakes to make and to eat, so let's get started. Step one, you're gonna need a large mixing bowl, and we're gonna be adding in our dry ingredients. So these are plain or all-purpose flour, caster sugar, cocoa powder, bicarbonate soda, that is not bicarbonate soda, bicarbonate soda or baking soda if you're in the US, baking powder, and salt. So in goes the flour, in goes the caster sugar, in goes the cocoa powder. Make sure this is unsweetened for the richest, most chocolatey taste. You don't want to be adding in hot chocolate powder by mistake. I tend to use this one, which is the Dr. Oetker Fine Dark Cocoa Powder, 100% cocoa solids. Then you're gonna add in the baking powder, the bicarbonate soda, and the salt. The salt really enhances the chocolatey flavor here, and it balances the sweetness. I always love a little bit of salt with chocolatey desserts especially. Now grab a hand whisk, and you're just gonna whisk these all together until they're fully combined. So we just need to make sure it's all one color and there isn't any lumps of cocoa powder in there anywhere. Okay, perfect. Now we're gonna be adding in our egg, vegetable oil, milk, and vanilla extract. So in goes the egg. This needs to be at room temperature so it mixes better and incorporates air more easily, which gives us a lighter and more tender cake. Now in goes the vegetable oil. I'm actually using rapeseed oil here, which is also known as canola oil in the US because it has a mild flavor, which is perfect for baking because we don't want to taste the oil, and it also keeps it nice and moist. Now in goes the milk. I would recommend either using full fat milk or semi-skimmed milk here for the creamiest flavor and the best texture. This also needs to be at room temperature so it combines properly for a nice smooth batter. And in goes the vanilla for a little hint of vanilla in there too. Now grab your whisk again, and we're gonna whisk these all together until nice and smooth, but make sure you don't overmix as this can lead to a denser cake due to excessive gluten development. It can also disrupt air pockets, which can cause your cake to flatten or to deflate. Oh my gosh, this looks so thick and fudgy. Just want to eat it with a spoon. Now we're gonna add in some warm water. Again, this needs to be warm so it mixes smoothly into the batter. So just whisk this in really nice and gently here until it's fully combined. You don't want splashes of chocolatey water going everywhere. Perfect, so you should have a nice runny batter here, which is perfect for our moist chocolate cake. Now, because our batter is quite thin, you don't want to use a cake tin that has any gaps in it, for example, a springform tin or a loose bottom tin, because it may seep out the bottom. I have been there, don't make the same mistake that I did. So I'm gonna be using an 8-inch square tin today, and I'm gonna be lining it with baking paper. So I'll quickly show you how I line my tins. So I always use Bacco foil non-stick baking paper because it's really nice and thick and it holds its shape. So grab 2 tins of the same size, and we're gonna pull our baking paper over the top. So you want about a 4-inch overhang all the way around. Place this over the top. Grab another tin of the same size, and you're just gonna press this down and then wrap the edges around. Remove the top tin, and that is our tin. So you should have a really nice snug fit. Now pour in your batter. I need a scraper. So it shouldn't need smoothing out, just make sure it's nice and level. So I'm gonna bake this in the oven now at 150 degrees if you have a fan oven, 170 degrees if you don't have a fan oven. Fahrenheit will be on the screen because, as we know, I don't know Fahrenheit, for about 30 minutes until a toothpick comes out with a few moist crumbs on. Now moving on to the Oreo buttercream frosting, you're gonna need unsalted butter softened to room temperature so it combines more easily, icing sugar or powdered sugar if you're in the US, 1 to 2 tablespoons of milk, and 3 crushed Oreos. So I'm gonna crush mine using a bag and rolling pin today, but you could always use a food processor if you have one of those instead. Oh, these ones are the Minecraft ones. cool, eh? These are the ones that are gonna go inside of our frosting. There we go. So they should be nice and finely crushed now, no large lumps left. So add your softened butter to a large mixing bowl. Grab an electric mixer, and I'm just gonna mix this until it's smooth and creamy. And now I'm gonna add in the icing sugar about half at a time. And whisk this until smooth. And then we're adding the other half and whisk again. There we go. Now this bit is optional, but I'm gonna add a tablespoon of milk to loosen it. And I'm just gonna whisk this in. Perfect, so it's looking really nice and creamy right now, and you want it to be spreadable, but still thick and hold its shape. Now I'm gonna add in our crushed Oreos. Make sure we get all of them in. Grab a rubber spatula, and we're just gonna fold these in until they're evenly distributed. So now we have this really nice cookies and cream frosting. So it should be this nice gray color. Which is nice when it's Oreos. Now our cake has fully cooled, I'm gonna transfer it onto our serving plate here. I haven't really thought this through. Oh no, I'm losing a corner. It's okay, I can eat that bit. Oh no, I knocked a bit off. It's fine, we don't need that bit. Now I'm gonna scoop on our buttercream icing. So I'm gonna plonk that in the middle. It looks like a mountain of the grey stuff from Disneyland. And now I'm just gonna smooth it out all the way to the edges with the back of a spoon. You could also use an offset spatula if you prefer. And it doesn't have to be super neat. To be honest, I quite like the rustic look with Oreo buttercream icing. And I'm always a big fan of a thick layer of icing. But if you didn't want a super thick layer of icing, then you could always just make half the amount of buttercream, or you could save some for later, or you could just put a little bit less on. It's up to you. There we go. That looks pretty good to me. Now to finish it off, I'm gonna top it with 9 Oreos, 1 for each slice. You could probably squeeze 16 Oreos on top if you wanted smaller pieces, but it's totally up to you. You could always use broken Oreos instead if you want, or just leave it how it is. Okay, I'm gonna be sensible this time, and I'm gonna start in the middle. That looks like the middle. I could just leave it like that. Looks almost like a giant crumble cookie right now, but a cake. There we go. So that is our cake done. So let's slice it up and we'll do a taste test. Brought the big knife out. I'm gonna try and slice this as evenly as possible. I did well last time for my Kinder cheesecake, so hopefully this one will go well too. Clean the knife. I can feel how soft it is when I cut through it. I think I did a pretty good job with that. I'm gonna go for this bit right here. As you can see, the cake looks super moist, but also really nice and light too. The Oreo buttercream frosting is thick, but not too thick. And you also get a whole crunchy Oreo on top as well. That is so rich and chocolatey, and the Oreo buttercream tastes sweet and creamy, and the contrast is just perfect and so delicious. This cake is definitely one to make if you love chocolate and Oreos. So guys, that is the end of today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know if you make the cake, and let me know what other recipes you'd like me to make. See you in the next one. Bye. Do you hear my shoulder click? So good.